Hey everyone, this video is your tour of AMOS. We're just gonna go through all these different little buttons and what it can do and get you started. So we can draw variables ourselves. And there's times where that makes sense and we definitely want to do our own. We can just put them anywhere. We can do direct lines, one to another. We can do curved lines between variables. There we go. And if we want to clean all of that up, we just use our magic wand and it makes it nice and pretty for us. But a lot of times that's going to take you forever. So I'm just going to undo everything and then I can take the delete button, this nice little X, and go through and get rid of everything. This is my favorite one. So we draw a circle and then click, 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 click. And we have 4 different indicators and the whole thing's already drawn for you. That is the best way to do this. You could add a unique variable right here. We can go through and title things. We can view the variables in the model. We don't have any yet. We have variables, but we haven't labeled them. We haven't added data. We can also look at variables in our data set. So I did include a data set here. What I can also do with this open is start adding in my indicators. So all I'm doing is dragging from here where it's red and making sure that the red one is the one that you want because you can see that the words start overlapping and it gets really hard. We can click on this and we can change the name, the variable label, to make it a little bit prettier so that it's not as hard to read for them. For example, change this one, you can see it a little bit easier. So we don't have that whole big thing, it's a little bit easier. We can also grab one of these and just add it. And then we can connect, saying that this one is going to predict that. I don't know, whatever we ended up wanting to do. If we want to select a single item, we just select it and it's still selected. I'm going to select another one, still selected. Select another one, great. If I want to select everything, that's this guy. Once it's all selected, it's really hard to unselect it. You literally have to push this little guy right here and now nothing is selected. We can move things around. I love the fire truck. Except the fire truck only moves the thing that you are looking at. If you want to move everything, you have to select it all, and now we can move it. We can also recenter. Where is that one? We can recenter the whole thing to fit on a page. We can not select everything. We can clean this guy up. We can rotate the indicators. This is really helpful if you have a lot of stuff up here and you want to physically just move these guys out of the way. And then of course, recenter everything to where it's nice and pretty. You can reflect these, but I usually use that other one to rotate. We can copy things. We can change the shapes of specific things. We can move parameters around. This is your save button. Very helpful to save constantly. We can print it. We can change how we view it. So we can move them bigger and then we can move things around. I am still on the reflect. It's not what I want. And if it's outside of the box, that's fine, especially as you are building really complex models. Just make it small and just keep building and building and building, and then you just hit this button right here and it will center it all nicely for you. Right here, these 3 are very important. So to select a data file, so we can draw an entire picture and not have any data to put in it. So we need to select our data to put in it. File name, you just pick your file, say okay, and it looks like nothing happened, except now we can go to our variable list and it will all be there. Now that I have put data in the model, I can also look at the variables in this model to verify that these are the ones that I actually wanted to do. That does get a little confusing when you have a lot of things happening within your data to make sure that everything's where you want it to be. We do need to label everything, and I do mean everything. We cannot have a single circle that does not have a label. So here, this is going to be our latent variable, whatever that construct is. Label that one. And we have to label every single error term. This gets old when we have a lot of different error terms. So here's a hint. If you go up to plugins, label all of the major boxes that you want. When you put data in, it labels it for you. Label your latent variables. And then instead of labeling all of your error terms individually, come up to the name unobserved variables, and ta-da, we have all of our error terms now labeled. If we go to this one, this is our analysis properties. This tells us which ones we are going to be using. Maximum likelihood, GLFs, all kinds of different options here that we'll come back to. And then this is the one where we actually go through and we calculate estimates. You will probably get an error because they're not completely identified right now, but that's the button that you will push to get all of your estimates and hope that it actually runs. Okay, so start playing in AMOS.